You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Julia Wiegand. Berwick police have made an arrest in an investigation regarding the death of an infant. The baby's death occurred in June of this year, and the manner and cause of death have been ruled a homicide. The investigation revealed that the infant died of blunt force trauma. The baby's biological mother, identified as 22-year-old Angelica Nicole Rivera, has been charged with criminal homicide, endangering the welfare of children, and tampering with evidence. She was taken into custody and was scheduled to be arraigned today. State Representative Tara Toohill is set to begin her judicial journey in Luzerne County at the start of 2022. WYLN's Mackenzie Ocker has more from today's farewell speech in Harrisburg.
Pennsylvania State Representative Tara Toohill gave her farewell speech today at the Capitol building in Harrisburg. Toohill has been elected as Luzerne County Judge and will take over the position in January.
Driving home from the state capitol at night, I would always take notice of all the little lights in all the houses on the ride home, and it would strike me that I was elected to represent those points of light. Inside those homes was a family who needed representing, a family suffering with lack of health insurance, inability to pay property taxes, joblessness, addiction, and even abuse.
Toohill has spent the past decade representing the 116th District in the PA House of Representatives. During her time, she served as a member of the House of Children and Youth, Government Oversight, Human Services, and other committees.
I hope that the children of Pennsylvania weigh heavy on your hearts. I'm attaching some unfinished bills and information for the record. In my opinion, children are the most unrepresented people of Pennsylvania. They cannot vote, and they have no high-paid lobbyist that walks these walls.
Toohill mentioned about her time serving as representative and thanked her family members and colleagues who have been with her throughout her career.
What a great honor and a sincere privilege it has been to work within these halls. What a place that you are all in, my former colleagues now, but such a place to do good. I want to thank you, and I want to leave you all with your favorite quote. Mr. Speaker, I submit the rest of my remarks for the record. Thank you, thank you, thank you. God bless you all.
For WYLN News, I'm Mackenzie Ocker.
Thank you, Mackenzie. City Hall employees and the Hazleton Police Department will be working under new contracts. Council members approved both the contracts earlier this month. The City Hall contract's already in effect and increases starting salaries from $20,000 a year to $28,000. City Hall employees will also see a 2% pay increase each year until the contract runs out in 2024.
City Hall employee contract has been in the works for almost 5 years now, so it is good to come to a conclusion on that. There were some changes made in the negotiating teams, and we were able to solve it within one day.
The agreements are beneficial to the employees, administrators, and the unions.
I think morale at City Hall has never been higher. Right now, all 4 unions have been doing great. They all seem like everything's much better than it has been in the past. And we're all coming together as one team, and the city is seeing the benefits of it.
The city also came to an agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police. The contract will run from January 1st through December 31st of 2025. It covers all of the full-time officers, who will all see a 2.5% pay increase next year and a 3% increase in the last 3 years of the contract.
The city and the police department have come to a conclusion on the recent contract. It's a really good deal for both the city and the FOP. We all got what we wanted to square up from, it's like a third one with the police department. So we really tidied up the contract, and it's a really positive for both of us. The main focus on putting the contract together was to be able to recruit new officers. Right now across the country, it's tough to get people to even come out and take the civil service test.
Officials hope that the new terms will make it easier to find and keep qualified workers. An investigation revealed that there was no credible threat that closed down in-person classes yesterday at the Mahanoy Area School District. School officials decided to hold virtual classes Tuesday as a precautionary measure after learning of a potential threat Monday night. The investigation determined that a student overheard several other students talking about what they perceived to be a threat. Police investigated and discovered that there wasn't a threat, though they commended the student for alerting school officials. The Mahanoy City Police Chief said the student did exactly what they've been taught to do in order to prevent violence in schools. Classes returned to normal today in the Mahanoy Area School District. There's some good news for residents of Luzerne County as the 2022 budget was passed last night with no tax increases. Council voted unanimously to approve the budget, which keeps property taxes at just over $6 million. The $157 million budget includes the use of over $924,000 from the American Rescue Plan to cover next year's transportation costs. Acting County Manager Romilda Crocomo proposed the budget back in October and worked with Council to deliver what she calls a fiscally responsible budget to Luzerne County residents. Council also bid farewell to longtime members Linda McCloskey-Hoke and Harry Haas, as they'll be leaving their seats after serving 3 consecutive terms permitted under the county's home rule charter. A Luzerne County man was arrested for a second time in the past few weeks after allegedly assaulting his ex-girlfriend. 22-year-old Glenn Lloyd Davis was arrested back on December 6th by Hanover Township Police for allegedly strangling his ex. He was released on bail for the first incident and was taken back into custody Monday for allegedly stalking the victim again. According to police, he broke into the woman's house Sunday and strangled her before forcing her into a vehicle where they drove to Hanover Township. There, he allegedly assaulted her after finding texts and pictures on her cell phone. She reported the assault to police the next day, and Davis was charged with strangulation, harassment, and simple assault. He was taken to Luzerne County Prison for lack of $150,000 bail. State police are asking for the public's help locating a hit-and-run driver in Schuylkill County. The crash happened on Route 309 and Tide Road in Rush Township last Tuesday, December 7th. According to troopers, 31-year-old Natasha Cruz was attempting to make a left turn on green when another vehicle ran a red light and collided with Cruz. The hit-and-run vehicle fled the scene traveling north on Route 309, but unfortunately, there was no description of the fleeing vehicle. Anyone with information on this incident is being asked to contact PSP Frackville at 570-874-5300. Klein Township supervisors approved a joint development agreement for a proposed warehouse facility in Hazel Township Monday night. Blue Cup Ventures LLC plans to build several warehouses along Route 309 south between Hazel Village and Beaverbrook. Most of the project is in Hazel Township, but a small portion involving a section of a parking area stretches into Klein Township. The company representative asked supervisors over the summer to consider entering into a joint development agreement with Hazel Township for the plan review process. So essentially, the agreement leaves project review for requirements like land development and uniform construction code in the hands of Hazel Township. This way, Klein Township avoids performing a redundant plan review, as Hazel Township is also reviewing the project. Coming up on WYLN News, HBT's upcoming holiday schedule, plus it's Christmas time at the castle. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kits. We'll be right back.
My name is Charlie. I am 8, and the forecast for tomorrow is partly cloudy.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here. Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Chura's Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in 610 North Broad Street, West Hazleton, 570-454-7229.
Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve, 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@wylntv.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
Hazleton Public Transit has announced their upcoming holiday schedule. HPT offices will be closed from Friday, December 24th through December 27th and on Friday, December 31st. All buses will end service by 4 p.m. on Christmas Eve next Friday, December 24th, and New Year's Eve on Friday, December 31st. Route 80 will end at Walmart at 3:59 p.m. and Route 90 will end at Walmart at 3:32 p.m. There will be no bus service on Christmas Day next Saturday, December 25th, and on New Year's Day on Saturday, January 1st. Those with any questions can always call 570-497-4610. 1224 is bringing their high-energy, full-scale Holiday Rock Orchestra performance to the Wiltsey Center this Friday, December 17th. Show starts at 8, but the lobby will be open to the public from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. with local crafters and businesses. Tickets will be sold at Boscov's in the Laurel Mall for $25 each or online at eventbrite.com. Masking and social distancing will be observed during the performance regardless of vaccination status. Visit wiltseycenter.org or their Facebook page for more information. Coming up on Old Forge's News Choice, we talk overexertion during snow removal on this Wellness Wednesday. Plus, Leading the Way, Part 3. Stay with us. But first, season's greetings from Fermin Diaz.
Hi, my name is Fermin Diaz, Main Street Coordinator for Downtown Hazleton Alliance for Progress. I want to wish you a Feliz Navidad. I hope that you got a really great next year and we can, keep moving forward with your family, work community. From my family and from our organization to your family and your organization, we wish you a Feliz Navidad. Merry Christmas.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman on WYLN TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9.
M&J Excavation, serving the area with quality and dependable home heating oil with competitive pricing. Also on and off-road oil delivery for your heavy equipment. They also provide paving and excavation services. 570-233-1898. Membership opportunities are now available at the Valley Country Club, 79 Country Club Lane in Sugarloaf. Clubhouse upgrades are in progress and will be ready for the spring. Call Frank Radis for details at 570-233-5328.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News Update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. The all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
1224 presents a high-energy holiday rock orchestra concert featuring holiday music as well as their own holiday creations. Inspired by the music and stage presentation of some of music's greatest rock orchestras, this group delivers. See them at the Wyln Center, 700 North Wyoming Street in Hazleton, Friday, December 17th at 8 p.m. Get your tickets online at wylncenter.org. WYLN programming is online all the time. Visit our website at WYLNTV.com to check out archive shows and a live stream of our broadcasts. And don't forget to visit all of our social media pages for breaking news, weather, and sports. You can also head directly to our YouTube page for all our programming at youtube.com/WYLNTV35. Subscribe and ring that bell so you get notified every time there's a new show available online.
Welcome to another Wellness Wednesday. Thanks to our friends over at Lehigh Valley Health Network. I'm Julia Wiegand, and today we are on location at LVHN EMS with Wallace here. First of all, how are you doing, Wallace?
Wonderful.
That's good to hear. So today, Wallace is going to be talking with us a little bit about overexerting yourself with snow removal. Now, Wallace, I know that obviously the snow is coming, and the snow is going to be here very soon, and with that comes shoveling. And with shoveling, sometimes people might go a little above and beyond what their bodies can handle. So I guess we'll talk a little bit about first off, what are some of the things that can happen to someone that kind of overexerts himself while snow shoveling?
Well, there's a lot of different things that can happen. Depending on what their medical conditions are. You have the elderly that are out there, so age plays a factor in it. People with cardiac issues, people with respiratory issues. Now that we've had COVID go through, the people that have the long extending COVID, with the shortness of breath, and a lot of times they don't take that into consideration when they're out there shoveling. They just want to get the job done because, like the people on the West Coast, we don't want the snow in our way, so they're going to do everything they can to clear it quickly.
Now, what are some of the ways that people can avoid situations as such, like in case of the elderly, in case of people with heart conditions?
Well, the best thing is don't try to take a full shovel. You get those people that I want to get this out of the way. Break the snow up. Yes, it's snow. Everyone thinks it's light. But when we get that wet, heavy snow, that's where everyone gets into the problems. Overexerts themselves, whether it's their cardio or their backs. People forget to lift with their knees, and they're bending over with their backs, and they're trying to lift with their backs, and that's where a lot of the back injuries come into with shoveling the snow.
And with that as well, also could the cold play a factor into it as well? Because obviously someone doing physical activity in the warmth versus someone doing physical activity in the cold.
Yeah, it's kind of the opposite. In the summertime, we're worrying about heat exhaustion and whatnot. In the wintertime, we're looking at frostbite. And yes, you're sweating and all of that's into your clothing and whatnot. But if you stop and you're out in the cold, it's going to only make you colder. So you got to kind of dress in layers. And if you're getting warm, take some of those layers off so you're not overheating yourself while you're shoveling.
And speaking of dressing in layers, that kind of goes along with some prep work. What are some of the ways that people can prep beforehand to make sure that overexertion isn't honestly in their foreseeable future?
Well, the best thing is, like I said, about doing layers, the thin layers, that way you can remove them as you're going. Wear gloves, some type of face protection, especially if it's really windy. People don't realize that the frostbite that can happen with the wind chills, and that happens fast because with your sweating, you're going to have that moisture on your face. And if that freezes, that's going to help enhance that frostbite problem.
Now, is this one of those situations where people should be watching out for their neighbors, watching out for their family, offering their helping hand as well?
Yeah, I mean, even in the fall with the leaves and stuff, you should be keeping an eye, especially if we get bad snowstorms. If there's elderly people or people have bad medical conditions, reach out, give them a hand. It's easier to give that person a hand than have to call us to come and take care of them because they do have a medical emergency from overexerting themselves. And I would much rather see somebody take care of their neighbor than me have to come and do life-saving skills for them.
That's right. Now, is there anything else that you want to add for our viewers and our audience, just kind of like the overall tips and tricks, or just a big message about?
Well, the big thing is, dress in layers. Make sure that when you're shoveling, use your knees, don't use your back. Break the snow up. That was one of the big things when I was young. They always taught you, break it into small bits and, take a couple more shovels versus hurting your back. Make sure you stay hydrated. Even though it is cold, make sure that you're taking breaks, keeping that hydration. It's that time of year in the holiday season where people like to use alcohol and stuff. Alcohol is really not the best. The warm fluids are the best thing. And you don't want anything super hot because that's only going to do the exact opposite effect for you.
All right. Well, thank you so much for squeezing us in to give us some tips and tricks, Wallace.
All right. Thanks for having me.
And thank you, everybody watching out there. Remember, you heard the tips and tricks here first, but they're not tricks. Honestly, just take it easy and make sure you don't overexert yourself while snow shoveling this season. The cold is cold, and you can get hurt, so be sure to take the proper precautions. That's it for this Wellness Wednesday. We'll see you next time here on WYLN.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Have you ever experienced that super pushy salesperson who follows you all around? Not here.
Or wandered around that big box store looking for help in the appliance department only to find the pink guy? Not here.
And we have an experienced, courteous sales staff here to help you find the perfect mattress, piece of furniture, or appliance with no pressure.
And don't forget, everyday low prices.
You always get a feel-good shopping experience at Grand Central in Hazleton.
No matter how busy life gets, your health needs to come first. That's why the relationship you build with your Lehigh Valley Health Network primary care doctor is one of the most important you'll ever have. From identifying your personal health risk factors to coordinating care with specialists, LVHN is here to partner with you every step of the way. And with the choice of virtual or in-person visits, it's never been easier to put your health at the top of your to-do list. Take the first step by visiting lvhn.org or by calling 888-402-LVHN.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN. WYLN CA35's children's programming is designed with the specific purpose of serving the educational and informational needs of children. In compliance with FCC guidelines, a copy of the Children's Programming Report is on file for public inspection at WYLN 1057 East 10th Street in Hazleton, Pennsylvania during normal business hours. To view the report online, visit fcc.org.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Dennis Gans is leading the way into part 3 of this week's series.
And welcome back to this week's Leading the Way with Dennis Gans. Dennis, for those who may not know, can you explain the role you play at the Lehigh Valley Health Network, EMS in Hazleton?
Yeah, sure. So, my title is Director of Pre-Hospital Emergency Medical Services, so I oversee all the pre-hospital care and providers and the team members for our EMS division with Lehigh Valley Health Network. That entails both the Hazleton operations as well as our West End operations out by Lehigh Valley Hospital Pocono. What I'm in charge of is making, is obviously making sure that we have efficient not only staffing but vehicles and operable vehicles to get our crews to and from the calls, ensuring that we're meeting the requirements of our municipalities that we serve and the citizens within those municipalities. We oversee a lot of the budget and the financial aspect of it, making sure that we have the equipment and constantly looking at how we can upgrade the equipment. I think one of the things that we really take pride in and we're developing is really engaging our employees to be involved in that process. So we've set up councils that we're developing, within our division and with our operations at both Hazleton and West End, and we've brought the employees together so they're working. So it's not just, okay, I work in Hazleton and I work in West End. No, we all work for the same entity and they're working together on these councils, and I think that brings us together, and then they're able to interchange. We have folks that come from West End to help us out with covering shifts in Hazleton and vice versa out there. So I think just really developing that opportunity for the employees is something that's vital, that as in my role that I take seriously.
How has the pandemic affected the way the EMS operates, and how do you keep everyone safe?
Yeah, the pandemic obviously has hit all of us in many, many different ways. I think for us, it's business as usual for the most part, but we do take extra precautions. Obviously, we have policies that Lehigh Valley Health Network has set in place to keep all of us safe. So we make sure that we're following those policies. We wear our masks and protective eyewear and gloves at a minimum. When we're doing any kind of patient contact, we're constantly making sure we're deconning our ambulances after patient encounters, patient transports. And then obviously we have our health screenings that we do to keep us safe. If a patient, if an employee, shows any signs, we're working with our employee health colleagues. If we have to get an employee tested, we do that. We don't want folks coming to work sick. We want them to get well, stay healthy, and then it causes us just to, we work with the schedule. We're very flexible in making sure that, everybody is well cared for and we have the tools to keep everybody safe. But it's been a challenge. It has been a challenge. And as of lately, we see some rises in the cases of COVID. So we just tighten our awareness. But, for the most part, this is what we're trained to do, and our team does a great job of taking care of our patients and taking care of themselves.
Well, you get hit with a pandemic, I guess you have to learn to deal with it. Right. Check back tomorrow night as Dennis continues leading the way into part 4 of this week's segment. Good night.
And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.